Instagram. It is a rainy day. I'm on my way to Sam's Club. I got a question the other day and I wanted to address this. And it was, how do I build confidence and discipline? Like, I think a lot of people struggle with being disciplined. And I think it's something that we all really kind of bash ourselves about not being as disciplined as we want to be. And I mean, first of all, what does being disciplined look like to you? What does that mean to you? It's different for everybody. It's subjective to everybody. So your discipline might look different than Bobby Joe's discipline down the street, or Sally Mae's discipline on the other block, right? Discipline is going to look different for everyone. So first off, define what discipline is for you specifically. Why do we do this? Why do we define what discipline is? Because if you don't have a specific target that you are going after, then you're going to just go with the flow. Like, you're just going to go with wherever the breeze takes you. And that's going to get you nowhere fast. If you don't have a target in mind, a goal in mind, and if it's, in this case specifically, discipline, if you don't have a specific idea of what discipline looks like for you in mind, then how are you going to know when you achieve it? And how are you going to know how to get there? If you don't have it in mind, you're just this floating duck in the middle of the ocean, and you have no direction in which way to swim. So you're going to end up where you don't want to be. So what does discipline look like for you? And what are you trying to be disciplined with? Now, once you have that idea, confidence really comes from stacked up proof of being able to do what it is you want to do, right? So confidence is something that comes from discipline, and basically stacking up proof that you are doing what you said you're going to do. Confidence comes from a stack of proof. How can you get a stack of proof? By starting small, first off. Starting small, because here's the thing. Confidence is transferable. I don't know if you guys know that. Just like fear is transferable, and you can have fear in general, and fear shows up in different areas of your life. Confidence is the same way. You can have confidence in general, and it will show up in different areas of your life. You don't only have to have confidence, maybe you're a public speaker and you have confidence getting on stage, but you don't have confidence talking one-on-one to somebody, right? Which is something that I struggled with for a long time. I'm driving to Sam's Club. That's something I struggled with for a long time. Is I don't mind getting up on stage and talking to thousands of people. But if you set me down in front of one or two people and I have to give that same talk, I used to really struggle with that, right? But until I learned that confidence is transferable. Okay, so you can borrow confidence from other areas of your life, just like your mind subconsciously borrows fear from other areas of your life. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the same concept. So confidence comes from a stack of proof that you are just who you say you are. Basically, it comes from a stack of proof of being integrous. It doesn't, like, if you are trying to have confidence to show up on camera for your social media page for your business, and you don't have the confidence to do that, but you have confidence when you go to an event, you can borrow that confidence. It takes work. It takes practice, right? It takes mentally forcing yourself to borrow that confidence and reminding yourself that you already have it. But confidence comes from stacking up proof. Discipline, being consistent in something. Here's the kicker. Discipline leads to confidence, right? That's the stacking up of proof. Discipline comes from a mindset shift. Comes from a different way of thinking about yourself, about what you're doing, about the world around you, about the people around you. It comes from a different way of thinking. Why does it come from a different, why can't I just fake it till I make it? So there's science behind faking it until you make it. And we'll talk about that. But if you just try to change your behavior to be more disciplined, whether it's I'm not going to snack at night, or I'm going to eat healthy during the day, or I'm going to do my DMO, my daily method of operation for my business every single day at this time. If you try to only shift the behavior and not back it with the mindset that it requires, it will crumble underneath you. The behavior will crumble underneath you. It's not permanent. Behavior modification is not permanent. You know what is permanent? Heart transformation. And when I say heart, I'm talking about your innermost being, the beliefs that you hold about yourself and the world around you. That's mindset, by the way. Mindset is really, quite literally, just the habitual thought patterns that you have that shape your experience in life. That's what your mindset is. It's the habitual thought patterns and habits that shape your experience in life. Paul tells us that the power of life and death is in the tongue. So if you are thinking poorly on yourself and the world around you, then you're speaking that out. Gosh, you're so silly. God, that was stupid. Way to go, Devin. You're speaking that out. I'm never going to get there. I feel like no matter what I do, it's just not going to work. You speak that out and it becomes your reality. It becomes your reality. Why does it become your reality? Because what you believe directly impacts, directly dictates the behavior that you have. And the behavior that you have directly impacts your results. So this is why behavior modification alone, without the mindset shift, doesn't ever stay. It's not permanent. That's why the self-help industry would be out of the business if their results were permanent. You guys wouldn't need them anymore if you could just shift your behaviors. Right? That's not the way it works, though. And people beat themselves up over and over and over again because they think that, oh, I'm doing the things. Why can't I just stay consistent? Why can't I just stay consistent? And you know what? Over time, they fail so much that they get to a point they're like, why am I even trying? Why am I even doing this? And they slowly dip out. They slowly quit because they now are being fed failure through their into their mind. That's the stimuli. They're being fed failure because their behavior is producing results of failure because they haven't had the mindset shift. This might make more sense to you guys if I explain the cycle that happens. Basically, you have the external world. Here's the cycle. You have the external world, and we take in that external world through our senses, right? The external world, everything that we take in is a stimuli. It's a stimulus. It is something that promotes or provokes a certain thought or feeling or emotion or whatever, right? A stimulus is something that provokes something else. It is the cause side of the equation, cause and effect. The stimulus is cause, okay? So we have the world outside of us, and that's the stimulus. And we take that in, and once it comes into our minds, we assign an experience to it. We assign an internal representation, and that is what forms our belief about that specific stimuli, whatever it is. The stimuli can be a conversation that you had. It can be an event that you went through. It can be something traumatic. It can be anything. Once that comes in, we assign an experience to it, and that creates a belief around it. That belief directly dictates your behavior. How many of you have tried to do something but didn't believe that you could actually be successful with it, and you ended up quitting because you didn't believe you could be successful with it? So you're like, why even try? Right? that happens all the time, especially around now when people are giving up on their New Year's resolutions. You have a belief. It dictates your behavior. Your behavior then dictates the results that you get. Because you're not putting your full self into it. You're not, doing it at your fullest capacity. You're not, your belief, your disbelief at this point, your disbelief is masking other opportunities. You can't see creative ways to solve problems. It's not just about doing the behavior. It's about seeing the opportunities that are already there as well. So directly dictates your behavior. Your behavior directly dictates your results. Those results become the stimuli that you are now being fed. I'm trying to see around my phone so I can go park. Those results become the stimuli that you're now being fed. And that stimuli, if it's negative, is going to create more negative belief, which is going to create more negative behavior or lack of behavior, which is going to create more negative results, which is more negative stimuli. You see the cycle, and it just goes down and down and down. You can change that cycle. You can change that, but the only thing that you can actually change that will have a lasting and permanent change is the belief part of it. You can't change everything that's going on outside and around you. You can change the belief part of it, right? So if you can change the belief part of it, then you're going to start to see more opportunity. You are going to take different action. You're going to, once you believe that you can be successful in anything and whatever it is, once you believe that you can be successful and that there is, a point where you get to the other side, then your behavior is going to change, right? You're not going to give up so stinking easily. It's not going to matter what comes at you. It's not going to matter, what obstacles are in your way. You're going to believe that you can do it, so you're just going to plow through the obstacle, right? And then what? Your results change because your behavior changed. Because you had a different belief about yourself, right? So discipline, back to the beginning, I was talking about confidence and discipline. Discipline comes from a mindset change, because discipline is a behavior. And if you have a hard time being disciplined and you're inconsistent in whatever it is that you're doing, that's not the issue. That's the symptom. The issue, the sickness, if you want to put it in medical terms, the sickness is your mindset. It's your belief. The symptom is showing up in your discipline. And your lack of discipline, your inconsistency is feeding that feeling of not being confident. So if you want to become confident, you need to be disciplined. But in order to be disciplined, you gotta have a mindset shift. Because forcing it works, but it takes a long time. And it takes a lot of try and fail and try and fail and try and fail. What do you think happens when Navy SEALs go into or anybody really goes into the military and they come out and they are completely different people? They make their beds in the morning. They're clean, right? They pick up after themselves. They're orderly. They're disciplined. What do you think happens? They have a mindset shift, but it's forced. And this is what I mean. It can be very painful to have that mindset shift because it's forced. Or you can just do the mindset work with someone like me and it's not forced, and I'm able to lead you through it with little to no friction. It's up to you. I mean, you could do either way, but I don't know. I feel like the easier path is the easier path. It gets you the same results. But, so that's how you build confidence. That's how you build discipline. It all comes from a belief change. It all comes from a mindset shift. And like I said, mindset is just the habitual thought patterns that you have that shape your everyday experience in life. Once your experience changes, your world starts to open up. You start to see things that you didn't see before. You know, you start to do things that you didn't think you could do before. Therefore, your results change, which gives you it's a positive feedback loop instead of a negative feedback loop. I'm going to head into Sam's Club. You guys take care. I hope that was some value for you guys. If you have any questions about how to build confidence, how to be disciplined, and what steps that you can take today for free, I would love to give you free coaching, like free information. Like I would love to. It's just what I do. I like giving things away for free. So send me a DM. You can comment on the replay of this live, and I'll just let me know what you're struggling with, and I'll help you come up with a way to get through it. All right. Take care, guys.